Hello and welcome to another wine review from Vinos de España. This time we are in Germany with the Riesling Scheurebe from Rheinhessen. I've never tried a German wine before, I will admit. I've had a few Rieslings from Spain, but I am told they're vastly different in Germany, which is natural given that the climate and territory is different. So we're going to dive right into it. First of all, we're going to have a look at the colour. Now, what I love about this is that the colour changes. Yes, it's got the green hues to it, but if you move it around and have it in different lights, you can see there's more gold at the bottom. It's got quite a thin rim, as you can see. Short legs, which doesn't really mean much in terms of the overall taste. What I like as well is that the clarity is fantastic. Obviously I'm not going to tip the glass completely to show you, but if you look from the top into the wine, you can see right down to the base of the bowl. Now we're going to give it a quick swirl just to release those aromas. And first things first, we're going to dive into the aromas. When we talk about aromas, we talk about the smell of the wine, so it's what you get when you first smell it, whether it's citrus, tropical, stone fruit, or in the case of red wine you can have spices, oak, leather. It all depends on the type of grape, how it's been fermented, what it's been fermented in, and the aging and how old it is. This is a 2023 vintage, so it's not that old, but I'm curious to see how it's aged. So another quick swirl and let's have a sniff. So the first thing I get from this is citrus and minerals, which are the top notes, which is really nice. Hint of grapefruit and a little bit of peach. They're quite medium in terms of how intense they are. They're not really smack you in the face, but you can smell them, which is nice. So it indicates to me that the wine is quite balanced. Not really overly perfumey. There's not really one scent that's competing with another. It's quite delicate, it's quite light. So we're going to give it a try and see how it tastes. Now I'm curious to see how it tastes because, as I say, I have tried Spanish Rieslings and they've been quite heavy on citrus, quite dry, quite bitter almost, quite minerally, which is what you would expect from Spain because the north of the region of La Rioja, Galicia, País Vasco, all of that, that's quite minerally. And then in Andalusia, which is where I live, it can get minerally, but it's more tropical, more peach apricot. So let's give it a go. Definite taste of lemon, some minerality, peach and apricot for sure. There's a bit, it's quite buttery in the taste, some vanilla, tiny hint of grapefruit on the finish, but the finish itself is quite short, so it doesn't really hold the flavours in your mouth much. It's sort of there and then gone. Again, as with the aroma, the taste is quite balanced, it's quite medium, it's not really strong, nothing's really standing out. It's not a case that you're hit in the face with one flavour and then the rest come in. It sort of all mingles together quite nicely. There is some minerality, I will say. Not much though, not as much as in the Spanish wines. This is more rounded, I'd say. It's gentler, which is quite nice actually. I will say this I would probably pair light cheeses, seafood, fish definitely, pasta, but nothing too rich, I would say, nothing too rich. This is more of a summer drink. More something that you'd have with a nice salad or a light dish. You wouldn't want to put this with something that's got a thick sauce or is heavy in flavour. So you wouldn't be putting it with a white sauce or a bechamel sauce or anything like that. No. I would probably go with something that's quite light and airy, so probably chicken Caesar salad or perhaps a pasta dish that doesn't have much of a sauce. spaghetti alla carbonara maybe. Just trying to think of any Spanish dishes. I would probably have it more with a sandwich than anything, more with a bocadillo. So again, maybe seafood, bocadillo de atún, lingostinos, probably more along those lines. I would say. I wouldn't, in terms of any meat, I'd probably go with chicken or pork because they're quite bland. Definitely chicken or pork, because where this is quite a delicate light wine, the chicken and pork wouldn't, as long as you didn't over season it or give it too much flavour, it wouldn't compete too much, so you'd have quite a nice rounded dish. No, I do like it. I mean, it is a halbtrocken, so it's off dry, which you can definitely taste in the wine, because while there is a bit of dryness there, it's not too dry. So it's not like a Pinot Grigio. It hasn't got that puckering of the mouth, but it's not too sweet, which I like, I will admit. I don't get me wrong, I love white wines, but I like the balance between dry enough to be dry and sweet enough that it's palatable. So I'm sort of a middle with that one. No, I really like this wine. I do. I really like it. For an introduction to German wine, it's definitely something I would get again. What would I score it? Well, if we're scoring it out of 5, I'd probably say it was around a 4. It's not perfect by any means. You know, I would hesitate to call it perfect, but it's definitely up there. So with that, guys, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I will see you for my next wine review soon.